ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ॐ। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनां मुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पदान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजिनीवदे दीनामवित्रयवदो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ॐ। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ जयन्ती मंगलकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवदात्री स्वाहा स्वदा नमोस्तुते। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। Sairam Lin, Sairam from Malaysia.
Sairam Sharma, Sairam from New Zealand. Thank you, Swami, for allowing Sharma and I to reveal another facet of your divine love. Welcome, as always, to our beloved listeners. We welcome your comments, and I will endeavor to answer every one. If you have a question or have a suggestion for a future talk, we really value your input. So our topic is facets of Swami's love. Now, a facet on a gemstone is like a different angle. And as I have said before, the more facets a gemstone has, the more brightly it sparkles, the more light it reflects. And that to me is, I think of Swami sometimes in a mysterious form as a gigantic round diamond with many, many facets, each one projecting a teaching or a piece of brilliant wisdom, because that is what he is. That is what I saw in him. He never minced his words. Every word from his mouth was a pearl. Everything he said, there were so many levels and layers of teaching in it. And, you know, he spoke quite briefly. He never wasted words like, you know, if people were running around trying to do everything at once in their spiritual path, Swami would say, don't haste. He didn't say don't make haste. He'd said don't haste. And that would stop you in your tracks. If we were, you know, doing jobs for him at Isharama Trust, and sometimes we would be all running around, we would get that message would come down from Swami, don't haste. Now, spiritual life can be a lot like this. And in sailing, we're a sailing nation here in New Zealand, and when you have a sailboat, you know, you can be whizzing along, the wind is in your sails, you're making terrific progress, and then the wind stops, and the sea is calm, and the boat's not moving. And this is called the doldrums. And many sailors, this is what we don't like if we're a sailor. We hate being in the doldrums. We're just stuck out there with no wind in our sails. And of course, this is when we don't have a motor on our boat. And we're just stuck there, and we're at the mercy of the wind, and we're at the mercy of the sea and the weather. And spiritual life is very much like that. You can be, you know, moving along, you think, wow, I'm doing great, my meditation's growing really well, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, you just feel disconnected from Swami. You felt close to him for a while, and then suddenly disconnect, and you try to reconnect with him, and no success. Now, that has happened to me, and so many people have come to me and said, Lynn, I'm not moving, nothing's happening, what to do? And a dear friend of mine who had her own Sai Center in the United States, she asked Swami about this. And Swami said, spiritual progress is not straightforward. he said, in the West, everyone wants to do things fast, fast, fast. He said, that's how it is in the West, fast, fast. And, you know, even when Swami was taking letters, sometimes we would expect him to take them right away. And when he didn't, we were like, oh, why isn't he, you know, he's the soul of everything. Why doesn't he take them right away? We're ready. You know, we were always trying to second guess what Swami should do. And of course, he's a divine being. He does what's right at the right time. And he said, many Westerners, this is how they are. But going fast in spiritual life is a stumbling block. If you're going too fast, and, you know, it's just kind of, it's an aggressiveness, isn't it? When people are going too fast, it's, when you slow down, you're more in touch, I think, with Swami. He always used to say, start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. And he said, the rule for spiritual life is to be cautious. Now, slowing down helps you be more in touch with not just yourself and your feelings, but with the progress you are making. And when you slow down, you become much more aware of the voice within. If you think you are meditating, you are not meditating. Mata Betty used to hammer that into us. She said, first you must concentrate. Now, concentration takes time. I'm an artist, I'm an illustrator, and if I have to draw a particular type of flower or bird or animal, I must first study it. I must look at it under a magnifying glass. I must go up and down and memorize every turn, every curve, before I feel confident to draw it. And I think this rang a bell with me, that slowing down helps you be more in touch, because the more I concentrate on a particular program or subject, the more I begin to contemplate it, which is when you are, now you're focused, and now you're just going to look and look and look. Now, contemplation is a big part of spiritual progress, just as being silent is. For example, if you are contemplating, first you concentrate on a flame, if you're doing Jyoti meditation, and then you begin to contemplate it. The first thing you see when you concentrate is a flame. But when you begin to contemplate it, what happens? You begin to think, this is a light. The light is in me. Swami is that light. Look at the color. He has said the spiritual heart is the color of a flame. And he said his duty is to make that flame grow brighter and bigger. How would he do that? This is contemplation. This is turning it over in your mind over and over. It's not rushing through 20 minutes of chanting. It's not sitting in the corner with your legs crossed and your fingers out, thumb on palm. Oh no, it's index finger on palm. I'm not very good at doing this. Doing your chanting and just whizzing through it. You know, oh, well, I've done my meditation. Okay, let's get on with the day. No, it's not like that. Every moment of the day should be a meditation. So how do you accomplish that? By doing things a little more slowly, more carefully, even more cautiously. Because slowing down helps us to be more in touch. Now, this world is not that way because we have got speed of communication. We've got email, we've got messaging, we've got Facebook, we've got WhatsApp, Signal, and this has speeded up everything. When I go out, what do I see? Today I was at the laundry. Here are people doing their laundry, reading their phones. People walking along in the fresh air in the park, looking at their phones. I would certainly say you must begin to slow down and find time to relish the divinity around you. Now, surely you can find divinity on your phone. There are plenty of talks. I'm not saying don't listen to your phone, but find that time to go a little more slowly. You know, don't act like a Westerner. Don't be so super efficient and fast, because remember Swami's words, don't haste. Don't haste. Be a little cautious on the spiritual path, because the more carefully you tread it, it reminds me of Ramana Maharshi's saying, choose a spiritual path, but make sure it is a clean path. Don't let yourself be distracted by a million different things. Even washing the dishes can be a spiritual experience. Swami gave so many little techniques. You know, if you're cutting vegetables, see yourself cutting out the ego. If you're digging in the garden, see yourself planting good deeds. If you're pulling weeds, see yourself pulling out your bad qualities. Turn as many moments as you can into a personal program for yourself. And it's really quite easy to do. And what is the value of this? It takes your mind off the haste and speed of the world. Remember what I saw Swami say, this was at Radio Sai. He said, speed of communication equals the human values becoming less. In other words, the more faster we speak and message, human values go down. And we can see many examples of this. One of the most extreme ones I saw was a young married woman ended her marriage by emailing her husband saying, "It's over." How cruel, how unkind is that? No time to sit down and talk it through and put her feelings across. Nope, it's over. Goodbye. My lawyer will be in touch with you. This is a decline in human values. This is one extreme example. And speed of communication equals decline in human values. This is just one facet of Swami's teaching, don't haste. And I would like to mention that there is a wonderful book available, because I am still a part of Swami's Eternal Book Center, and it is called Facets of Love, and it is by our wonderful Dr. Sue Evans. It's available on Kindle. You can read a free excerpt, and it's available on Amazon. Dr. Sue served Swami in so many capacities for many, many years. She came to him as a young woman. Her dad was the one of the chairmen for the American Psi organization, Dr. Robert Evans. And she had her own Psi center. And then she came to Prashanti Nilayam, where she served Swami in many, many ways. She had many, many interviews. She served on the Isharama Women's Welfare Trust, and now she is a very celebrated author. Please look at her site on Amazon or Google, Dr. Sue Evans. God bless you all, and remember, don't haste. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Raksha Sai Ishvara. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Sai Ishvara Arpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.